I just ate, so I'm afraid that I've got food in my teeth, but hopefully not. Hi guys, welcome back to Life with Mel. I'm Mel Ayakami Madubai. It is nice to see you again. So yeah, it's been a while, it's been a minute. So I'm in my new space. I have finished uni and I've graduated. I've got my degree. I can only thank God, honestly. It was a journey and a half. So yeah, that's that. It has definitely been a while. In all honesty, I have been sitting on this one for a really long time, for about 6 months, I'm not even gonna lie. God kind of put this one on my heart a while ago. I had a couple of issues with it, right? Because I know you see this title, but one of the issues for me was the fact that you actually have to sit here, you actually have to be transparent and vulnerable with people. It takes something. Another part of this, I think the biggest issue for me was when it comes to certain topics and certain things, you have to be very careful the people you listen to or the people you take advice from. There are a lot of people that are speaking from a place of bitterness, from a place of lack of healing, from a place of brokenness, and I don't want to be that person. But in the last couple of months, God has just done something and changed my heart in the way that He helps me to see what He has been doing in me all this time. So I'm sat here now just really thinking and feeling like I actually have something valuable to say and something valuable to put out into the world. I did a last video on die empty, and this is something, I have something, so I'm not gonna hold it in. I'm just gonna let it out and die empty on this one. So yeah, the topic for today is lessons from heartbreak, especially to do with protecting and guarding your heart. So I have 3 main points for you today. My first point is, because someone is a Christian doesn't actually mean that they have a relationship with Christ. And what I mean when I say that is there are a lot of people that will identify as Christians. What I've learned about it is that people have different definition of what Christianity is. For me, Christianity is living a surrendered life to Christ, trying my best to live a surrendered life to Christ, making the sacrifices that I am being convicted to make in order to look more like Christ. Sometimes when people call themselves Christians, we're automatically on this bandwagon of they must mean the same thing that I do. That's not necessarily the truth. I found myself in a place where I was asking God, why does it seem to be the people that carry your name? Why does it seem to be those people that are hurting me? It gave me the word, by their fruits you shall know them. At the time, I didn't really understand. I thought I did. Over the years, God has been breaking it down bit by bit, helping me to see more of what He meant by that. I think I might leave it on the side somewhere. The fruits of the Spirit. So the Bible talks about the fruits of the Spirit, and this is like the evidence of what it means to be a Christian. When the Holy Spirit is exhibited in your life, the fruits of the Holy Spirit is exhibited in your life. From what I thought I knew, I thought the fruits of the Spirit were like momentary things, like episodes of kindness, episodes of peace, episodes of gentleness. But recently, Holy Spirit opened my eyes to something. God is trying to make lasting fruit in us. There is nothing momentary about the fruit of the Spirit. If someone is walking with Christ and has the spirit of kindness, it's not going to be temporary or momentary. This person is going to exude kindness, they're going to exude peace, they're going to exude love. And I think about my life and I think about the people in my life. I've been very blessed in relationships. I've really benefited from having fruitful relationships with these people. Their lives reflect the fruit of the Spirit. When it comes to protecting and guarding our hearts, I've learned that you have to be able to take your time to identify the fruits of people's lives, especially in romantic relationships, friendships, even family. If I say I'm looking for Christians who are trying to live a surrendered life to Christ, I must be able to exhibit the fruits of the Spirit in their life. Your life is supposed to be characterized by the Spirit. It's not just moments. Because if He's trying to make something lasting in us, you will see it all the time. If it's supposed to be lasting, you will see it all the time. It's not even seeing it, it's experiencing that fruit. And I think that's how we show the world Christ as well. Being able to show or exhibit that fruit. You can't have the fruit of the Spirit and it not be displayed in your life. So that was That was a lesson that God taught me. I should be evaluating people, the people that I want to draw close to, or the people walking into my life, to identify and characterize the fruits that they are exhibiting in their life. Because walking with Christ, there's a certain standard you're called to, and I need people that will treat me in the way that aligns with the standard that God has set for them. I need kindness, I need gentleness, I need patience. God has taught me to evaluate the fruits exhibited in someone's life as a way of protecting and guarding my own heart. The second point I'm going to make is, through heartbreak, your healing is important. I read something that said, without healing, you start to look like what hurt you. There was a point in time, someone called me out and just told me, like, yo, you bitter. Like, you bitter. And you know what, honestly, I thank God for it, because at the time I couldn't see it. There's this saying that goes, hurt people, healed people, healed people. A part of healing that's really overlooked is the work God is gonna have to make you do on yourself. Probably the scariest part, or the reality of healing. God made me work on myself. Like, God not even made me work on myself, God made me confront myself. It's a confrontation of your level of brokenness. It's a confrontation of what has been hurt. Confronting yourself and confronting the healing that you have to do is a hard reality. That is a big part of the healing that we overlook. It's not just healing from the event, but most of the time the events will point to deeper holes and deeper things. My sister likes to say something that really annoys me, because it's true. It only irritates me because it's true. She says it takes two, especially like when it comes to like romantic heartbreak. It takes two. I think we would all love to sit and blame someone for the pain that we experience and the hurts that we've experienced, but sometimes we actually have to tell ourselves the truth that I had a part in this as well. It may not be that you did anything outrightly outspoken, but what led you to decisions you were making, what led you to take the people that you were taking into your lives, what are the things that allowed them to be in the proximity to do as much damage as they did. Sometimes there are steps and decisions and little things that put us in a path of heartbreak that we have to face and that we have to heal from as well, or else we'll be repeating the same patterns and the same behaviors. And that healing is so worth it, because it impacts everything else you produce from there on. I have to remember that healing is a process. Healing will take time, and it's going to be such an individual walk. Practical healing for me looks like distancing myself from the cause of the pain. I found it very hard to process things that still had access to me and I still had access to. So for me, it meant deleting people, blocking people, unfriending people, muting people. I think the people in my life will tell you I'm so quick with it. For me, practically, healing looks like distance. For instance, there was a time actually where I shot my thumb in a hotel door, slashed right through. I had to go to A&E, I had to get that stitched up. But for like a certain amount of weeks, I couldn't let it touch water. The bandage had to be changed to make sure there was no infection and just to make sure the environment was clean. But I had to separate something that needed healing. I had to carefully watch the conditions in which it was being managed and the conditions I had it around. And I think we have to pay attention to the practical preventive measures when we are healing. What does that look like to you? Practical healing is going to look very different for different people. We have to be very, very honest with ourselves. Very, very excruciatingly honest with ourselves. There was a point I made certain decisions knowing that right now I can handle this. At my strongest, I'm able to handle this. At my weakest, I won't be able to handle it. So if I'm seeing something, I will be triggered. So I had to make the cuts, make whatever decisions I had to protect myself in the situation that I was in, because I was honest with myself and I knew myself well enough to be able to tell myself the truth of what my healing required and what my healing would take. And my last point is forgiveness and reconciliation aren't necessarily the same thing. So what I mean by that is I'm trying to live my life where I am freely forgiven, out of that place of conviction and out of that place of someone else forgave me, so I'm trying to do the same thing. But forgiveness and reconciliation are different on the terms of forgiveness doesn't actually require anything from the other party. Forgiveness starts with me, and it's just my conscious decision to forgive. It doesn't require an apology. It doesn't require anything from the other party. It is my choice where nothing has to change, nothing has to be different from them. However, I believe reconciliation requires change on both ends. Reconciliation, you need both parties to be on board, wanting to work and carry on with the relationship. I find that when we are trying to reconcile though, we reconcile with people and situations that haven't changed, opening yourself to the same hurt that you've already experienced. It will mean that you have to go through this healing process again and again and again, and each time you're just being wounded. And it's not only just about being hurt. When it comes to people and relationships and heartbreak and guarding your heart and protecting your heart, it's not just hurt that we're talking about, it's harm. People can do harm. It's not just simple hurts. It is harmful to you in certain situations. So when it comes to reconciling relationships and reconciling friendships, reconciling with family, it takes change on the other side, or else you are doing exactly what you were doing before. And I think what's worse about that is the consistent disappointment. You're disappointed each and every time that happens because nothing has changed for the other person, and that essentially is the most important part. Both parties being able to change and then come together. And that is our video for the day. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, press the like button, and if you want to keep up to date with all things Life with Mo, make sure you subscribe and of course share with the people you think would like this. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It was great to see you, and I hope you join me in the next one. Bye.